I brought that whole week. Like go back. On the order, Myrtle Creek City Council regular council meeting for February 17th, 2026. Roll call, please.
Mayor Luke Dillon.
Here.
Councilor Robert Cheney.
Here.
Councilor Kathy Rad.
Here.
Councilor Jamie McElmurray.
Here.
Councilor Diana Larson.
Here.
Councilor Rick Hill.
Here. Please stand for the president. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any public presentations? Any citizens for non-agenda items? Consent agenda 2, consent agenda part 1 and 2, approval of minutes of regular city council on February 3rd, and acknowledge and receipt of payroll and claims reports from January.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes and the finance report. I second that.
Any discussion on those? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Right, moving into department reports, finance officer report.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. I'd like to submit my written report for the financial activities for the record. I'm willing to answer any questions that you may have.
Good stuff. Any questions for? Okay. Moving on.
I just got one quick one. How come they're blacked out now? These, it seems like they used to.
So Springbrook had an update, and so I have to run the report differently and make this Excel spreadsheet differently. So what's blacked out?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering.
Well, I guess
There's
page you want.
a showing different, mine's still, we discussed this, mine shows the little black thing, theirs is completely blacked out.
Oh,
But the PDF, I think, creates something in the thing. I
yeah.
don't think there's really anything, I think it's a date.
It's a number.
I'm just wondering.
It's,
It's not really
Yeah,
redacted.
because look at, on Joanna's, it's completely clear.
Really?
Yeah,
Mine's doing something different than theirs is doing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the iPad, the way the,
Yeah, it's something to do with the iPad,
right.
because hers is showing where
I
mine
can
is.
see a partial number, but it
This looks like-
has,
Yeah, you have
Wait.
some.
oh, if I zoom in, it gets smaller.
I think it's
It gets bigger.
I think it's the fund. I think it's the number of the fund that is blacked out, just by looking at that.
Mine doesn't get any better.
I think it
if you
is,
want
because
to
it says,
bring them to me during the week, I can make sure that you have all your updates and stuff on your
Okay.
iPads.
Yeah.
I think it's the vendor number.
Yeah.
Here's your circle.
Yeah, mine's a surplus too.
Okay.
Well, you just
Yes.
updated mine, and mine is all black.
Mine didn't used to be blacked out.
I'll research it.
Maybe down to Epstein files.
It's probably vendor number.
Crazy.
It's the fund, what fund it is, I believe.
No, I think it's the vendor.
So it's,
Okay,
It's a number,
moving on.
not important.
Yeah, we're not gonna do IT here. Police department.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I'd like to submit my report as written, answer any questions you may have.
So Taggart taught a class on how to
Yes,
use magic.
yeah, well, basically, it's an information class, more for parents, but you can bring children. He's had it down here before. They've held it up the cafeteria, the new Cottonberry cafeteria. I think they've had it at the high school. They kind of travel around different places in Douglas County. And it's kind of information for parents to, things to look out for on certain websites, certain sites that have games for children where predators prey on kids and things like that. That's kind of what the presentation's about, is to try to inform the parents on how to keep their children safe when it comes to electronic devices and social media.
Does he ever say how many people attend?
So he told me that they seem to get really good attendance at Sutherland, and some of the other ones, but the couple times that I've been to the attendance, I went to the ones that they've had down here, and the attendance was pretty small. And so I know really what the reason is. They don't do any different in their advertising or anything, in regards to what location they're at, just for whatever reason, the attendance down here doesn't seem to be as much as some of the other places in the county.
Where do they advertise? Where does he advertise?
So I think they do social media and some flyers. I don't know because it's through the human trafficking task force. They're the ones that put it on. That's something he's a member of. It's not part of the police department. So I don't know what avenues that they advertise in regards to that, but we social media and posters and some things like that.
Is there any way you can get on the list to be informed when there's a class?
Yeah, I'm sure I can make that happen.
Yeah, because I'm not the best at technology. So any help is, appreciated.
Absolutely. Yeah, and sometimes we'll hang flyers here at City Hall too on the board when they have something out. So, but yeah, I'll make sure and see if there's a list that we can get, if y'all are interested. I mean, just get on.
Yeah, that might be a better way to have attendance, is if you have a place where people can sign up ahead of time.
Right.
They come to the fire department and give us a class to watch what beware and stuff, because we have a wreck or something and just watch to see if something's unusual. They inform us too, so we're really informed on that too.
And what 13 city ordinances,
I don't have the answer to that.
you don't?
No.
Like,
No, so I mean, there's the stat sheet, the sergeant takes care of the statistics sheets, and then he gives it to me at the end of the month and it's posted, so I know how many activities each of the officers have done when it comes to calls, reports, arrests, traffic stops, city ordinance violations, etc. But I would have to go through and run a report to see what each of those city ordinance violations were.
so it wasn't a bunch of the same type.
I have no idea.
I believe they were, a lot of it was the same type of stuff from the police report that I saw.
So there's log entries, like I'm sure you're probably on the log entry list, so it'll be on the log entry list that gives a brief summary of what the city ordinance was, but again, if it's not something like crazy or stands out, I read them every day, but it doesn't stick with me if it's like, oh, I contacted this person regarding junk vehicles in their yard. I mean, that's typically what it usually is like junk vehicles or garbage or something like that. It's typically what the officers are going out, being proactive on, or people calling and complain about.
I have a question about that white van at Millside. What is going on with that? Do you know?
Are you talking about the one that backs in there and that has the
Yeah.
curtain over that?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that that's something that somebody is staying in, and under Oregon law and city ordinance, they can stay quite a few hours parked in a certain area for their camping and stuff like that, so.
I haven't seen it move, so I didn't know if someone was living in there or if it was just.
Yeah, I don't think it's dumped, and there's a few folks that are doing that, that are living out of their vehicles that use that area of the park to sleep inside their vehicles and stuff. And then,
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with. I'm sorry, but I'm just okay with the homeless doing whatever that they can do to survive. This economy is horrendous and it's gonna get nothing but worse. But when I question, when I do see that, whether the vehicle's been abandoned or whether there's someone actually living in town.
Yeah.
A question on your tasers.
Yes.
Why do you have to purchase licenses to use a taser?
So it's a new program. I had the same question. I called up the rep and asked him. So honestly, it's a way for the company to make more money, right? I mean, it's just what they do. They're there to make money
But what does the license do?
and so they're basically using technology. So the current tasers that we have right now to upload the data. So say we have an incident where we end up using the taser on somebody, we want to upload that data. So it's gonna tell us, every time you turn on the taser, every time that you activate it by pulling the trigger or anything, it timestamps it. So it says the date, time, how long the activation was done. And so anytime you tase somebody, you have to upload that evidence as well. And so currently with the model we have, they basically plug into the tower of the computer, right? And we can upload them like that. Well, we're like 2 models behind on the taser. And so what Taser has done with these new models is it's basically a docking station like our cameras. So when we take our body cameras off, we set it on a docking station. It automatically uploads all the videos that we have into basically the cloud. It's not a cloud, it's an Axon system that we purchased. And so with these new tasers, it's the same thing. And also with the current ones we have, the batteries, when the battery goes dead, you just purchase a new battery, you throw it in there. These current tasers, the batteries are rechargeable. So when you place it on that docking station, it recharges the battery and it uploads all that information every time that you would place it on the docking station. So therefore, because it's a computerized, internet-based type of thing, they make you purchase a license for the taser. Yeah.
They found a way to.
Yeah, it makes it a lot simpler than it did 10 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, it's a more reliable system of getting your data uploaded and more frequently. And so, I mean, just like anything, you know, if we tase somebody and that person sues for an unlawful use of force or something, that data is gonna be what is also gonna be used, right? Because they're gonna look at how many times was it deployed, how long was it deployed for? So that's definitely something that we want to be able to show that we're consistently uploading our stuff and we have the data there.
Yeah.
In the past, it used to have to be the instructor would have to download it and we would pass that on. Now it does it all self, right?
Right, but we're currently doing the same system right now that you're talking about with these tasers is we have to give it to an instructor every so often and have them upload it, or anytime that we use it in an incident, we have to give it to that instructor and have them upload it. Right. And now when we switch over, we'll just dock it on the docking station like we would the cameras, and it'll automatically do that.
So anyway, you're kind of just paying for like insurance a little bit.
Provide to work.
Just so that you protect yourself, because it's going, you know, this money that.
And it's their system, they want money for their system.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Any other questions for Chief? All right, feel free to leave whenever you want to.
Thank you.
No problem. Fire department report.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Submit my reports and answer any questions you may have. Are the 3 structure fires, then 3 councils, are the same ones? No, they're different ones. We did have 3 structure fires. Yeah, both, I think, 2 of them probably was, Canyonville, Tri-City area. Or, you know, they cancel us. Sometimes it's just a little fire that they can put out their own and stuff. And, I think the one I had here was
Probably
the
here.
house. Yeah, and they all showed up there, so. So, yeah, but that wasn't canceled, that was actually structure fire. But the council ones, like last night, we had one at, Shoestring, at Riddle. But by the time my truck got there, the council was on the scene. Because they already had taken care of it.
Just out of curiosity, so the 23, is that tell them, like, would that communicate that was how many times this alarm went off?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one counted at the second page.
Oh, okay, that's true. So if it goes, if you go off the second time, if it.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of times, especially during the night, it takes a while to get up. So I gotta get dressed and stuff, and I'm kind of making out my rig. She wants to do a second page, you know, you gotta at least give me 5 minutes to get out there, you know. I
Yeah.
got my radio, I could use that, but I never turn my radio on, because I got my phone, it tells me what's going on. But yeah, it's 23 times. That's like our doors too, our overhead doors, I had to get them worked on too, because they go up quite a bit. So last year was 478 calls we had, but that's not counting all the other times we opened them back and forth, so. But they gotta be kind of updated too, which I gotta a budget for that, or try to get a budget for that too, because they say what I have on the doors now is outdated.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So they can't find parts or something, we'll see, it's pretty expensive that the other way they wanna go. And then, we did get air compressor, right, air compressor. Doesn't work very good at all anymore for our trucks, we had to have air for a truck. So I got with Zach, we got one, and he's gonna help put it in and stuff, city as well.
and what is that used for specifically, typically? Is it for your,
And we use it there for the trucks and stuff, because all of our trucks got air for the brakes and stuff.
that's what I was wondering, was it for the air, like brakes, wheels?
Yeah,
like that?
yeah, it's not for the SCBA, it's for the truck air. Not just the air flat tires. Those things ain't cheap either, so.
Is there anything on your list that, where the alarm doesn't go off?
No,
It goes off for like assisted lift?
oh yeah, they go off all the time for every little thing.
So
Mhm.
assisted
It does.
lift, is that, you're just helping someone that's fallen?
Yeah, somebody fell down and they need
Yeah.
help up and stuff.
Okay,
We got one guy now that's on Neil Lane, that he's fell a couple times and stuff, and I think he probably, I don't know, how many calls we had this time?
Last month.
Last
About
month,
3.
3, he's probably 2 of them,
mm. Okay,
but just a lot of people fall down. And so, it's not the same one, so. Used to have a repeater one all the time, like this guy across the street here for a while. And once or twice a week.
All right, any other questions for Annie? Public Works report.
Evening, Mayor and Council, I'd like to submit the public works report in as written. Answer any questions you have.
Did the light needs the town in being, is that the one that?
Somebody took a rock and smashed it.
Okay.
Well, it was still working, but then all the bugs and all the crap got in there and got inside the plastic, inside the light somehow. We had to find a new mold and then find a new piece of glass to put over it. Keep bugging out.
But it's fixed now.
It's on. It's still not desirably bright. It's on and working. It still casts a shadow on that backlog. I don't know how it worked before.
Who are the electricians that we use?
Usually we use our own packet, it's day or night, most of the time. I think, John got some bids from a couple of local electricians on a project up at his tank, but most of the time, he's pretty familiar with our system.
Nineteen water truck. No, that wrong. All right, any other questions? Public Works?
Cemetery looks good. Events looks real good.
All right. Moving on to regular agenda. Millsite Park Master Plan Project Award.
So I guess we've got our bids and everything's out. We got our low bidder. Do we have work yet?
So we sent out the letter of intent, contingent upon tonight's decision. All 5 of the submissions that we received covered all of the things that we were looking for. And so really it boiled down to the only difference between what they were gonna do for us is the price. And that price, includes their, the design, the research, they have a whole section where they come in and, work with gathering public input on the parks. And then the final submission of the park master plan.
I have a question about, what is involved in this plan? What, I can't remember what all took place to make this decision. And is the grant, is it a matching, it's not a matching fund thing?
Percent.
It's a $50,000 grant with a 15,000 shared portion from the city, which I'm sure those numbers would change based on that Doherty's.
And what is it for? Sorry, I can't hear very well. What is it for?
This is for the Millside Park Master Plan.
Yeah,
It's to create a master plan for future improvements to Millside Park, all the way from the disc golf course to the bunker and from the.
just to like figure out some things that,
Improvements that are needed, additions that can be done. It'll be like several different things that we can choose from. RV park, I know people have been curious about that, about the ball fields. And
Yeah,
then
I
they
know
put
that.
together costs, for projects so that we can budget.
well, I know, I believe when this was proposed, there was big interest in an RV. But now that we're, that section where that's being developed for the Babe Ruth, I'm kind of wondering if we even need that.
Well, they can look at also the restroom buildings, playground equipment,
So
pathways.
just an overall.
It'll be an
general-
overall master plan for the entire park. Some would be needed improvements and some would be wanted improvements.
I make the motion to enter into agreement with Doherty Landscape Architects for the creation of a Millside Park master plan.
I'll second.
All right, any other discussion?
Yeah, so this says that we could choose a different proposal, so I thought we had to pick the lowest bid. Is that
So
the commission?
the RFP that we put out was also based on best need. And so there was 3 criterias in that included the approach, experience, and cost. But all 5 of them met everything. They've got years of experience in their teams. They all did the same proposal of types of parks and public input and what they would give to us. So really the only differential, looking at the ones that were submitted, was what they were gonna be charging us. They've all worked with small cities, large cities.
So how does the Parks Commission, I would think they would be the ones that would really make that decision.
So they are only an advisory board. They can, which is why I have in here, they did a recommendation to approve this during their last meeting. They do not have the authority to make final decisions as an advisory board. So they can look at things and forward them.
So I'm not understanding why there were several bids. We don't have to go with the cheapest. And I'm just curious, what the differences were.
Well, that's it. There wasn't, as far as the skill sets and what we were looking for.
It's just, so
Yeah.
they're all covered. Okay,
Mhm.
all right.
But I'm just asking that the council does have the opportunity, if they wanted to pick a different one, the council
Mhm.
could do that. So the council isn't bound by the lowest bid.
Mhm.
I just want.
I know we've always gone with the lowest bid, and I feel like it's always been
So there is an
somewhere
ORS.
maybe communicated that we are supposed to choose.
There is, so there is an ORS that you are to take the lowest bid.
Right,
Unless there is a specific thing that you're looking for that only one person can provide.
right.
But in this instant, there isn't.
So we
any.
have, we do have to choose
The lowest bid.
the lowest bid. So I think the confusion is why is it council
why
choose a
that
different selection? I think that's where the confusion is. That shouldn't maybe in the future.
Not give
maybe-
you guys the option.
Yeah, I think that's where the confusion is. Like, we don't have the choice to choose a different proposal.
In this situation,
In this
we don't have
situation,
to.
yeah, in this situation. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was what I was wondering, because the ORS, but then that's.
Yeah, so I'd like to, yeah. Okay,
That's all I have.
any other discussion? All right, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, carries. Next, resolution 26-02 surplus vehicle.
And this is a fire vehicle, so anything to turn.
Yeah, no, we just got one truck there that we're, eventually down the road, we're gonna replace it. We don't hardly ever use it, some of the stuff in there, you know, we don't use it stuff. And, it's just a big truck, and it's hard to handle down the road, does have good feature, has big lights on and stuff. But it's old Pepsi truck converted to a salvage rig with all the doors and stuff on. So we figured we could, put it up for auction and stuff. So, I got this guy in Myrtle that he puts some of his vehicles on auction on the fires side, so gets a little bit more out. So,
Who did you use, Jonathan?
I have it written down, it's Gov something, it was a great auction site, Dent actually turned me on to it, and it was amazing.
Would it
I could
maybe
give,
be better?
yeah, I could
Pass
give
it
them
on
the
to Manny?
contact information,
Yeah.
because I mean, it kind of takes you out of it, they do most of the legwork, and then
Yes.
you can set a price where you want to accept it, or you can just any price, and then the buyer is responsible for making the arrangements to come pick it up and get it shipped, and they make sure that it's paid for before, you know, you can do that, so it's.
Because when you went to this new one, you actually got more money out of the police car than in the other
Big time,
side.
yeah. definitely.
Share that with.
Yeah. Yeah, we just, I mean, we just want, cause it's not really, don't have water in it and stuff like that, it's just surplus stuff where you carry all your jobs and stuff and whatever you need on there.
It's Gov deals.
The money goes back into the fire fund? Or does it go in the general fund?
It goes
Fire
back.
is a general fund.
In the general fund.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution number 26-02, a resolution declaring city-owned vehicles surplus and disposing of same.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
So.
All right, carries. Uh, 7.3 U-Trans discussion. It's just in regards to that email that I sent to you guys last couple weeks ago. Got any thoughts on what I shared?
But they're still thinking maybe by July, they're gonna start the yellow line back up.
So just to clarify, it's not a yellow line, they're just gonna extend, I think it's the gray line, whatever one that ends at Dillard store. And turns around, they're going to twice a day extend that line, so once in the morning, early in the morning, once in the evening. Then down to Myrtle Creek and bring it in and come back, and so that's what they're planning on. Starting off and testing that out, and seeing how that goes. And then-
So it won't go to Riddle and Canterville anymore.
No, they're only going to, correct, it's only gonna go probably to Rays, it'll probably stop at Millside Park and in Rays. Yeah, that's what they're suggesting. And then going from there, and then. Yeah, then seeing, because, and I think I explained in that email. A little bit about the financial stuff, I don't know if you guys have any question on that, but. So there was just they were losing a lot of money, that made it sound like that yellow line was. Cause they don't really, they just weren't getting, they just don't have a lot of money coming in.
They were,
And that's a large
given
cost.
severance packages and money out that they should have been doing.
Yeah,
So it's
talking about
an
state,
elected
or talking about
board.
ODOT, yeah,
Elected board, the U-Trans board, and they've got a lot of, personal problems. Seems like.
yeah, I think a lot of that's changed over the last little bit, but I think they're maybe still having an issue, I don't know. They're making it sound like they kept calling it the last administration was kind of ran into the ground a little bit.
Right, but that's been given and that person is gone with
Sure.
this package and we're like trying to put that together, which
Sure,
should have been used to provide the services to the citizens. So that's not anything that the city of Myrtle Creek can do, but you were
Right.
proposing
Well, we,
checking on what we used to kick in to get.
yeah, I mean, cause they just brought that up to me. They said at the Myrtle Creek and some of the other cities like Red Oak, I've used to, help give some money to the U-Trans to help subsidize some of the, the buses. And so, and I hadn't heard that we were doing that anymore, so that's why I asked. And that's all that was about.
Was that before they started taxing everybody and putting together the U-Trans board? Was it when the commissioners were in control of the buses? Do you know?
I think looking back, I mean, I can give you years, because I don't know all the specifics on that, but, up until 22, we gave them $10,000 every fiscal year. And I think we looked at like 2015 or 16 is when,
We went back as far as 15 but we couldn't find anything on 14, but I'm pretty sure it went back for the, but we couldn't find anything.
yeah, but it's been $10,000 every year from then until 22.
Yeah, well, I don't know when it became an elected board and was taken from the commissioners and put out there to what we have now, and that is being funded by everybody that has a job. It's taken out in those little ITTT, whatever, on your checks. And that's
Well,
what's supposed to.
I explained that a little bit in the thing too. There's not a lot of money.
No,
I
it's,
know.
well, collectively or Oregon wide, but like I said, the U-Trans board, I don't think they took as good a care of the funds that they had allocated, they could have.
Well, they shared with me that the tax revenue that they would get from payroll tax. Oh, yes, goes to Oregon first, and then they get a small allocation of that, and it's restricted to the type of fund, what they can use it for. And then their main funding is from just the state in general, and then federal funding, which they have about, which they. And so they're.
Well,
So anyway, so,
one of the things you can apply to be on the budget committee for U-Trans. Pretty much anybody can be on the budget committee.
go ahead.
I've been on it. I'm not sure if I still am or not, but they only meet like once a year. Lonnie was on it.
Right.
So Lonnie and I were both on it. So, you know, it's not like I haven't been doing what I can, but I'm saying other people can do that too, so that you can help with those funds and make sure that they don't vote money to somebody.
So do we know how much that was for our area collectively that was being from those tax dollars that were going into that? Do we have an idea?
I mean, you're gonna have to figure out like how many, like, working.
I'm thinking the budget committee should know this kind of stuff.
Those were really, really, really long meetings. A lot of discussion and
It's November of 2018 is when the county gave
gave
it,
it over, and it went to an elected board.
like Board of 7.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's appropriate for the city to be kicking money into that board that's being funded.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that we should do that,
Yeah,
especially.
you
at this
mentioned
moment.
having a roll thing.
Yes, I did mention that, yeah, because like, we wouldn't, it was just an idea that I threw out there that they had given me, and I was like, oh, that makes, something that I can just bring to you guys.
A little van that would shuttle people around would be sufficient.
Yeah, I mean, that's just something to talk about, we can maybe work, talk to the other cities and.
A South County,
Yeah.
South County.
yes, it would be even better.
And we wouldn't be, from my understanding, we wouldn't be under the same regulations that like a U-Trans would in Southern. So we would have a little more freedom about, just doing that ourselves, but that's just an idea.
You could see what the Feathers do they transport people around, South County from the casino and stuff. If there's some way you could, or we could,
Yeah, we'll work something with them.
some kind of
Do
a,
something, yeah.
would be,
That's not a bad idea, I mean, that's something we can get on them.
But if we're not gonna have a line extended down there and that one, because it does come back down here and then goes away. I don't think it's appropriate that the people in this area should be paying money into that to support it when they're not getting anything out of it.
That's my opinion. They should have a special tax refund for people that have paid into that and are getting no service out. But other than that, having
Yeah, you'd have to go to the state for that.
It might be a moot point if the line returns, I mean, even if they're running once a day and they're serving, so it takes that burden off of them, so.
Yeah. I mean, I got their contact, I mean, if you have quite more questions for them, because we can reach out to them and stuff like that, but, the idea for,
and see if we can
the idea
collaborate.
that, right, yeah, exactly, but the idea that I had, that if we were going to contribute anything was to help subsidize, help getting that bus back out here and do that kind of thing, that was my only idea. And I did ask them what it would cost, just if they were just going to do that extension, and they haven't got back to me what what they expect that cost to be, but.
So when they get that back to you, that'll be easier for us to.
Yeah, I'll forward it on for sure.
Did they have an idea or provide you a number of riders that we had from in the
They were
area?
gonna get that to me too, and then I asked them about that, I asked them that information, they haven't got that to me yet. I'll follow up with them after this.
Who are you in communication with?
With their general manager and CFO, and also I met with the guy who manages all the routes, and the manager of that, and then, which I was there too, but I'm not sure about.
Well, if they're really interested in getting subsidized by the cities and that, I think, and they know that what our budgets of cycles are, you would think that they would be coming to people now to see if they can get some.
They weren't showing, I mean, maybe they should, but they weren't showing they weren't telling me that out of desperation. They had just brought it up and through the conversation, that the cities, they should be able to give the money. And they weren't asking me that out of desperation, so maybe that's why they're not doing that. But yeah, that's how I took it anyway.
Do we know why we stopped giving them money?
Point.
No, she said why.
Why?
Oh, why?
When we start.
Yeah, I'm not sure why we don't. Last administration.
Well, I know before that was always voted on a yearly basis, in the budget, so it must have gone out of the budget, that year. I don't know.
I didn't put the budget together.
Yeah, I know. But, 22 was our last payment, right?
Yes.
So the budget for 22-23 did not have that money in there,
Do you remember how much that was?
$10,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I get anything, I'll reach out to them, follow up with them, see if I get some more information, I'll forward it on. Otherwise, then we can just talk about more. We want to add it to the agenda later on, talk about some more.
Yeah, I think
If you guys want to talk about doing something internal, like going South County wise with maybe a couple of the cities. Do it too.
I think that would be a good idea if we are gonna have bus service to figure out something.
Yeah, because it did make it sound like most of the traveling happening down here was people getting off and on just in South County. They were a lot of work going up, there were some, but not all. Most of it was happening just down here. That's how they made it sound, so hopefully I can get those numbers.
But I think that came from the change in the way that, because it was traditionally the college students that were using it. And the change in the way the college is presented now and the availability of doing it online.
Yeah,
That's taken away from kids having to go there every day.
they made it sound like a lot of. During the week, it was high school kids too. Going to schools. They made it sound like that, so just in terms of like in the area.
Correct, because of open enrollment, yeah, so that makes sense.
We'll move on. City administrator report.
I've been working at the school. Bob's got his pool license now. He's all certified to do that.
And you kept yours?
Yes, but I think it's good for 5 years. The pool, we've been pressure washing, cleaning, we're getting ready to paint the inside of the bathrooms. Getting rid of, or fixing the floors, putting new toilets and stuff in there. our EPA grant with our filter upgrade for our water plant, they're started on that. They got their first inspection, they poured concrete, they're starting to assemble everything and set it where it belongs.
Questions?
Just a comment, I don't know whether you want to bring it up under your report, or you want to bring up, under council reports, but, the Joanne Johnson issue. The issue, about the, how we went to the park board, and I can bring it up under mine if you want, do you want to bring it up?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll bring it.
You'll be up in a minute.
The Parks Commission just recommended to forward to council, and I did put it on here, the memorial, but you're doing that
I'll bring it.
summer festival, right?
Yeah.
So not till June.
Yeah.
I just assume the sooner we get it moving forward, the better off we are.
Any movement on the golf course?
I've just been calling, collecting information, trying to figure out what things will cost. Not a whole bunch. I haven't had the payroll, hasn't reached out back out to me. Still waiting, still haven't heard anything from Scott.
Did you talk to Valley Sims or anything about, they've got that indoor?
I have not. I guess I'm just trying to get it to not close right now.
So at this point, as of April, whatever date, the golf course will close until we find new management and purchase equipment to maintain it.
Yeah, if we can find somebody that has equipment and they'll come down and manage it, that'd be great. If not, then we're buying equipment and finding a manager, buying equipment, managing ourselves. It'll be up for you guys to decide.
But you haven't heard from anybody?
I got a couple of quotes on some cards, on the cards. I haven't had anybody come back with quotes on ours yet.
But if you guys want, once he is able to get some of those numbers put together, maybe add it to the agenda and have a big discussion on it. Because,
Yeah. I think it'd be a good idea.
yeah, and we've talked about all the other options, like I know people have put in applications for different things, we've talked about all of that too. Yeah, so I think once we have everything laid out and have an idea of where we need to be, hopefully we can have that soon, either sooner.
Yeah, we do.
April 18th is not too far out.
No. What about FEMA money? Has there been any movement on that?
No, I think I got in there and I got all of. I think I got all of them, but like 3 updated through the state. And maybe Ryan said he was gonna start obligating or sending us money on the ones that I got done. We're still waiting on a couple from FEMA to approve. Which when I talked to, that guy last week, he said that they're waiting, whatever they're doing. Whatever their group of people, they're stuck there until they get approved by those people.
So it's in the process.
In the process.
And the easement across the golf course, can you check on that?
I have not. I've been trying to figure out where to get carts and everything else.
We'll have that on the list, just so that we know what that's about, if it's still there, you know, any information on that. We'll have.
Any other questions for Zach? All right, mayor and councilor reports. Bob?
I started to say, we had a park commission meeting last Tuesday, and I brought forward what we had spoke about here, the last council meeting on naming the band shell, the DR and Joanne Johnson Memorial Band Shell. And the Parks Commission was in favor of that and sent it back to us to formally approve that, so we can move forward with it. And it's up to this body, but I would recommend that we make that dedication of that facility during summer festival opening ceremonies, because he built, he was the one that gave all the buildings for that, and Joanne was the one that organized and created summer festival, so it'd be a perfect timing for that.
So what exactly needs to happen with us as council to, is that a motion approval, do something like that, or like, are we just saying like, is that consensus?
Yeah, it would need to be
So I need to do it through a resolution is what a lot of the other cities have said, so I can put that on the next agenda.
I just wanted you to be aware of what was, that it had gone through, so.
Do we have criteria for naming buildings after people?
We don't have an internal policy.
But we do have a policy for doing memorials within the park system, because that was approved, what, 2 years ago?
The park benches.
Yeah,
They have trees.
donations to the park, memorial donations to the park was approved 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago.
And there were trees that had memorial plaques.
Yeah, and we had quit doing the trees. It was becoming difficult when a tree would start to not do well and you take it out. We were getting comments about, well, that was so-and-so's tree. So a few years ago, we did a thing with benches, to do memorial benches that people could purchase a bench and have a placard on it. We haven't had anyone take that up yet.
It was more than just benches, so.
Oh, I don't know.
It was any equipment, like if they wanted to donate the playground, you can. Look it up.
I will.
I know I wrote the proposal, so.
Okay.
Just giving directions, right?
So then tonight we're just telling her to go ahead and put it on the agenda
Yeah,
next.
just wanted you to be aware of that.
Yeah.
That it had been approved, approved by the Parks Commission and forwarded to us for final approval. Also, the crab feed was held last Saturday, not this last Saturday, but a week ago this last Saturday. Went off really well. We didn't hit the numbers that we thought we were going to hit, but still did good. No problems. So, good.
Jamie, you said nothing?
I don't have anything.
I've been thinking about this for the last few minutes. Maybe I should address Zach about this, but I had a person ask me about the mill site plan tonight before I even realized we were gonna be discussing it. And so it's on the website, it's on our website.
The
I'm trying to
RFP
figure out.
was,
Pardon?
the RFP was when we were advertising for proposals.
Yeah,
It was-
so they, when we talk about this, the public will know, and then they'll come. Or how do I, if I have, someone questions me, what do?
So once we've awarded it to that company, yes, they will do a whole campaign and it'll be on our website, it'll be on newspapers. Yeah, that'll be them taking care of it. That's part of what they're getting paid for.
Okay, thank you.
No.
I don't got anything. All right. We're adjourned.